Welcome everybody, CJ the Smart Guy with you. And today I've got a really great person who's in the smart contract space. He's got his own businesses. I met him while I was on tour with Najah Roberts, the Black Wallstreet tour. I know he's been working with Hill. All around good dude. He's on social media. He's behind the scenes. So I just wanted to make sure y'all checked him out. I met him in Charlotte first. And then I met him, I believe, in Tulsa, Oklahoma as well. So Chris Perceptions.
Yeah, yes,
So
sir.
I appreciate you coming on. So first off, we met in Charlotte. I
hmm
seen you with your kid, man. How's your kids doing? How was their holidays?
Man, everything's cool. It's just this pandemic is a trip. So firstly, we staying healthy, staying cool, masking up and all of that. I got a 2-year-old and I also have a newborn. She's 2 months. So, my wife and I are very happy. Just taking it a day at a time. So yeah, man, everything's cool. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, for sure, man. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
When we was on tour, we was in Charlotte. I believe it was like North End Gate or North End Camp. Um,
Mhm.
and so that was cool. So first I wanted you to talk about for everybody was Percep Pay. What exactly is Percep Pay? I know that you're the CEO, you founded this. What exactly is that?
Sure. So my company, PerceptForm, it has 4 verticals that we are interested with leveraging blockchain technology for. So that's finance, education, art, and real estate. The financial branch, that piece is going to have a few different outputs, some of which where you and I may actually need to do some business. And we talked about that in the DMs, getting people acclimated with crypto tax, but also as people learn about crypto, they may want to accept it, and accepting it at this particular point is not necessarily as cut and dry as it is to sign up for Instagram. So Percep Pay is a social payment marketplace allowing people to accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. And we're going to automate this process along with other aspects of our business. And we're really excited to really speak on this. There's a blockchain called Stacks, and this blockchain is utilized to have city coins and DeFi with Bitcoin to layer one solution. So we are writing smart contracts with Bitcoin. So when a person is transacting on PerceptPay, sometime this year, it's going to be decentralized and they're going to be able to streamline that process. But the front end is going to look as simple as a traditional marketplace. So yeah, that's long story short, a social payment marketplace where people can accept Bitcoin as a form of payment.
Okay, so just so that the people understand a little bit, so does that mean if I go to like a Walmart and they have PerceptForm or Percept Pay there, I'll be able to buy, I'll be able to use Bitcoin there quickly instead of waiting for like that 10-minute, blockchain acceptance? Is that basically what it's for?
You're getting into my roadmap. So there is I can't get in detail too
Oh,
much.
my fault. I'm
No, you good,
thinking a
you
little
good.
bit. Okay.
You good. I appreciate it. We're going to be launching a card. Um, we're going through paperwork and processes and whatnot, but that's one other connecting agent. But the social payment marketplace is more peer-to-peer
Mhm.
in true Bitcoin fashion, which is ultimately peer-to-peer decentralized. So we're really going for that piece. Once that piece is finalized and complete, then we're going to bridge to other aspects. So that's tax consulting, that's having the card, that's having various mechanisms that would incentivize people within our ecosystem. So if someone wanted to, they could ultimately at fairs or festivals, food trucks, these can be aspects where people can accept Bitcoin as a form of payment, but
Mhm.
we have a twist to it. Perhaps someone wants to accept Bitcoin, but they don't necessarily want to go through the rigmarole of, well, let me get a wallet, let me get this, let me get this. And they can download a wallet, but everything else after that, they don't necessarily know. So
Gotcha.
we take care of those pieces. We streamline it. If someone wants to pay with a credit or debit card, they can do that and it's automatically exchanged for Bitcoin for the merchant. So yeah.
Got you. Okay, well, we'll definitely be on the lookout for that. When do you think that's going to be going live, or is that just something just when it comes, it comes?
That piece is actually going to be live this year. So I would estimate by Q2, we're in the midst of doing a facelift and decentralizing it on the back end. So it is live in its current iteration right now, but what it's going to be is going to be light years ahead. So I'm really excited.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So I think we hit Charlotte again this year for our second tour. You know, last year we went in the summertime. This year we're going again. So I think
Mhm.
we'll probably be in Charlotte maybe June-ish.
Okay.
So hopefully it's done by then, and you know we could put you on a platform and you know
Mhm.
present it to the world. So that's pretty awesome. I also
So,
know that you know when I was on tour, I saw you again, not just in Charlotte, but I saw you again in Tulsa, and you were walking around with Hill Harper and his all his camera crew and everything like that. So what's your relationship with Hill, and how'd you get started on the Black Wall Street tour?
oh man, so shout out to Hill, shout out to Najah. They do a lot behind the scenes and they're really for the people. We were talking offline about how there are a lot of entities that currently exist in the crypto space, and they have war chests, they have financial backing from top tier VCs and whatnot. And there's a cost for that, you know. It might be equity, it might be, you know, social access, it might be the network effect of things, but Hill and Najah chose a different route. They chose to make sure that their hands and their DNA was really on not only the brand and the product, but that they connected it with the people. Before they asked for anything, they gave. You know, there are people who are going to receive Satoshis from the last tour. And for those who don't know, Satoshis are a small denomination of Bitcoin. So, like, there's four quarters and a dollar, they're smaller denominations of one Bitcoin. So if you attended the tour, if you signed up for a form or on the form, you are going to receive some Bitcoin for free just for attending the tour. And this is before the product even launched. This is, and they're doing all of this out of pocket. People don't necessarily know that. So I got to explicitly say that, give them their flowers while they're here.
Yeah.
Solid people, very solid people. So salute to them. But Hill is my brother, man. I got involved in the Black Wall Street in a myriad of different aspects. Kind of last year, at the top of the year, we were beginning to talk, and the more we spoke, it's like, okay, well, PerceptForm has these four verticals, and the Black Wall Street wants to do these three things regarding institutional ownership and whatnot. And it just made sense for us to kind of have this alliance, and it formed into a brotherhood. You know, I'm uncle to his son, he's uncle to my daughters. Like, it's real.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very grateful. And I know that there's a lot that I definitely have not approved to talk about that's coming, but
Yeah.
just know it's major stuff on the way. So if you haven't yet, download the app. It's an app that's for the people, the blackwallstreet.com website, and you can dollar cost average. You can send and receive, and there's some other things that are on the way, like major stuff. So yeah.
I know you can't talk about it, but look, are we going to be getting dividends or interest or staking or anything like that? Look,
Man,
you can't talk about it. I'm not going to get you in trouble, man.
there there may be some rewards. That's
Okay.
all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Look, so for
Mhm.
everybody that's not aware, you know, when I was on tour, you know, Najah called it the Digital Financial Revolution Tour, but it was to advertise the Black Wall Street Wallet, which is where you can buy and sell Bitcoin. Now, as of a couple days ago, it seems that there's been an update, and now you can actually send it, withdraw it, things of that nature. So we're seeing a huge progression with the wallet, as well as now you can dollar cost average. So everything that we were speaking on tour is now here on fruition. So anybody who's been hitting me up saying, hey, why can't I send this to my cold wallet? Or I can't dollar cost average, you guys said all these things. It's there now. So as Chris was saying, like, you know, this was coming out of pocket for everybody, you know, Najah as well as Hill. And, you know, we didn't have these big, huge VC firms where they're pouring in millions and billions of dollars. This is based off of them and it's for the community. Once again, it was named after, you know, the Black Wall Street is named after Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. All the craziness that happened over there, where the most successful black city was basically burned to the ground, bombed, destroyed, and they weren't even given the insurance money at all. And some of those banks that were insuring those businesses are still here today, and they still haven't received their money.
Mhm.
We were in Tulsa when the two of the survivors that are still around from that riot, or I don't even call it a riot. I feel like that was just destruction.
It was a massacre,
It was a
bro.
massacre. Yeah.
Hmm.
They were there. They were talking. They're still waiting for their insurance money. They're over 100 years old, still waiting. Um, and so I hope that this helps them out a little bit. It brings some attention to it. And if the government never helps us out, because I don't believe that they will, this is a way to at least create and preserve the wealth that we've had, or that we continue to generate. We believe Bitcoin is the future. We believe that it's going to be the world reserve asset, upgrade from gold, upgrade from the US dollar. And so I'm grateful to you, Hill, Najah, all the developers, everybody who's promoting it, because I do believe that this is the way to go. And as a CPA, I look at the numbers, I look at purchasing power, I look at macroeconomics, and I'm like, yes, this is where it's at. But don't ask me to code anything. Don't ask me to develop anything whatsoever. I just make sure everybody's complying with the IRS and let everybody know what the world is doing. So
That's right.
appreciate you on that. I also saw that you were doing something on Instagram a while back, called 100 days of Bitcoin.
Hmm.
How did that go?
Man, so first and foremost, content creation is a grind. It might look glamorous and fun, and you look at the numbers and all of that, but it is a grind. Especially if you're doing it without like a machine behind you, and that machine could be like maybe two or three people. You might have an editor, you might have a promoter, you might have someone that makes thumbnails, but it's a grind. It was super fun, super fun. Did 100 days of content straight, just teaching people freely about Bitcoin. So if you go on TikTok, we're over 100,000 views with that organically at that point. And then with Instagram, same thing. So if you type in 100 days of BTC, you're going to see all of this content if you want to learn about Bitcoin in bite-sized pieces. So that was through a partnership with the Black Wallstreet as well as myself. We wanted to just get that information out there while you all were on the road, physically, hand to hand, shaking people's hands and whatnot. We wanted to hit them digitally as well, so that people could know, for one, the tour is happening, for two, the app is live, and for three, you can learn about cryptocurrency and it not be a daunting thing. I think most people have, pardon my French here, they've sipped the Kool-Aid that mass media has given them, like, oh, well, short-term volatility and
Oh,
it's a scam, and this person clicked this Facebook ad saying that they can double their money in 48 hours. And like, people just aren't educated. You know what I mean? So some
yeah,
people are slipping through the cracks and are getting jammed up, which is unfortunate. But if you zoom out from the time that Bitcoin was created and launched to present day, it's only gone, even with short-term volatility, it's only gone up,
yeah,
only
yeah,
long term. So if we zoom out and think like most investors truly do, you're going to understand why, as of late, and your audience can obviously research this, there's a billionaire that put half of his net worth in Bitcoin
Whew.
last week.
Oh, I didn't even hear about that.
Oh yeah, you can do your research on that. I think I may have even retweeted it.
Okay.
So yeah, like, there's a billionaire that put half of his net worth, not Michael Saylor, is another one, half of his
Okay.
net worth into Bitcoin. And he
That's a
did a
whole lot.
9-minute video talking about why he did that and why his peers are tripping on him, but why his peers don't necessarily understand the value proposition of Bitcoin. So not only is it a tool of liberation, not only is it the greatest, or as we say, the hardest money ever, but it also serves as an amazing investment instrument long term. And
Yeah.
people need to understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why I think Hill and Najah, they create those videos. So when you go to the
Mhm,
Black Wallstreet Wallet, you
mhm,
scroll down, there's actually like instructional videos and it's educational videos about what is Bitcoin, what are Satoshis, and
mhm,
it breaks all of it down. And I mean, that was the whole concept that Najah was having, was that every single city that she went to, she was breaking this down like to a T. And even though I heard the speech 22 times, 22 different cities, I felt like every city I was learning something new. Uh,
mhm,
she was talking about, how gold, which was the reserve asset before,
mhm,
um, became illegal to hold in America in 1933, 1934. And when they took the gold, they replaced it with, you know, paper money saying, hey, we, you have X amount of gold, in Fort Knox, and so it's worth something. But then by 1971, the gold magically disappears, and we're off the gold standard. And if you look at the graphs, that's really where the separation between our wages, the purchasing power, that's when everything just really starts to get bad in terms of the US dollar. Because before that was backed by gold, so it was somewhat stable. But now it's real bad. And as a CPA, I see what happened with COVID and how much money they printed, and how, minimum wage hasn't gone up in like 10 years.
But that inflation, though,
6.8% is what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. Yep.
But let's look at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree went from $1 to $1.25. So in the hood, inflation is 25%. So, if you make $10 an hour and you used to buying 10 things from, Dollar Tree, now you got to put 2 of those back. You might have to put away the toothbrush and toothpaste. You know what I'm saying? So now you can still eat, but you can't brush your teeth now. That's what inflation does to you. So appreciate you coming on tour. Was there anything that you wanted to say to the public whatsoever? Maybe a message, how you got into Bitcoin, what to look for going forward, anything like that?
Yeah. So, man, first and foremost, thank you again for the opportunity. I think that, and I'm on Twitter a lot, and I see folks asking like, yo, is there a CPA? Is there, people are going to be clamoring for this, especially as in America, at least. We can talk globally, but in America, the people who are going to benefit the most from Bitcoin are the ones that are scared of it, the IRS. Go figure. They're going to get theirs. And the US government is second. And then thirdly, you got the whales. So those are the 3 people that are going to gain. I'm really interested in seeing the bottom end of that spectrum come up. So Hill, Najah, Earn Your Leisure folk, Wall Street Trapper, Big Mar, they were doing a panel discussion in Tulsa, and they were really bringing home the fact that if African Americans, if Black folk get into Bitcoin, it could be $1 a day. And that's also part of the 100 Days of Bitcoin campaign. Every day we were going to dollar cost average into it. So if it was $10 a day, $5 a day, $1 a day, the challenge is, could you dollar cost average into Bitcoin for 100 days, whatever your threshold is? Maybe you don't do Starbucks for 100 days. Maybe you chill and you put that money in Bitcoin and you park it. You treat it like a savings account with better returns, because banks give what, 0.0. It's offensive. Long story short, it's offensive. But what happens if Black folks get into this new ascending value asset class? As these institutions, as these billionaires get into this, they're gonna have to come through us.
Yeah.
Powerful when you think about it. This is the first time in history in America, since we've been brought over by force from Africa, that we can control the financial narrative for our lineages. Truly, they hit us with redlining, banks, mortgages, like the list goes on, Jim Crow. We can go through history, but literally all you need is a cold storage wallet and some Wi-Fi, and you can move freely. If Mansa Musa had to choose between caravans of gold that collapsed potential economies because he was giving out so many, or a cold storage wallet, I bet you he would take a cold storage wallet.
Yeah.
I bet you, you know what I mean? So I want people to really understand that we're not necessarily early, but you are early. You know what I mean? But the best day to get into Bitcoin is today. You know what I mean? So do your research. 100 Days of Bitcoin is a resource. The Black Wallstreet is a resource. PerceptForm is a resource. Obviously, CJtheSmartGuy resource, very active on social media, Clubhouse, Twitter Spaces, all of that. So tap in with some real ones in a real way, and know that we won't try and finesse you. We're always going to point you in the right way. And all of the things that we discuss are verifiable. Like, you can do your own due diligence. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. People are going to try and always come up in times of new cutting edge technology. So how can you be watchful of scams? One way is to, because I'm sure people get hit with the messages like, yo, you can flip this, or I'm an investor, and all these little fake profiles.
Every day.
I got to tell Najah, Miss Crypto Mom, Bitcoin Zay, like, yo, here's another page. Here's another fake page. Here's another fake page. So be mindful of any links. Don't click any links that a person sends you in a Discord and whatever in reference to crypto, because it might be scamming, and eventually you'll be able to build your tolerance up and say, oh, this is kind of, never mind, I'm gonna spam this one. So definitely be careful of that. Also, on a long story short scenario, my company has a few things coming. So we're launching a Bitcoin mining operation,
Hmm.
and that is going to be a tokenized effort. So we're tokenizing the property, allowing for people to not only get in from kind of a cloud mining aspect, which is kind of normal, but having equity in the infrastructure itself. That's what we're going to do. And it's the first time that that's happened. Bitcoin mining operations have gone public on the stock exchange, but none have ever tokenized real estate. And we're mulling over the details of, should we tokenize on Ethereum or should we tokenize on Stacks, which is again layer one connection to Bitcoin. So it's almost like we're mining Bitcoin and the property is tokenized on Bitcoin. So that's coming through the pipeline very soon. Yeah, just stay tuned. There's a lot that's on the way that I can't talk about. But
Sure.
yeah, that's about it.
Okay, now Stacks. Does
Mm.
Stacks have high gas fees like Ethereum? Because man, Ethereum's gas fees are killer.
Dude, Ethereum is nuts, and that's part of the reason why they're trying to ramp up 2.0 and make it proof of stake. But to answer your question, no. I've minted NFTs using Stacks. You can do DeFi with loans that pay for themselves, it's wild what people really don't understand about Stacks and how you can earn Bitcoin yield, but they do not have high fees. No,
Okay, and
not at all.
have you created some NFTs? I heard you had like a journey or something like that with NFTs. Do you have any of that stuff out there so that people can possibly support your journey?
Yeah, and thank you for asking, bro. I was a professional artist from the age of 18 till present day. So growing up, I've always been a fan of economics, of art, and of technology. But having technology, learning how to code, I grew up in a very volatile environment, so it's hard to focus on teaching yourself HTML, which I did, and CSS and JavaScript when like there are gunshots happening nightly. So a lot of trauma I grew up around. So art became my way out. So fine art photography, spoken word, all of those different avenues. And I was afforded less wise to be in museums and galleries with my work. So fast forward, one of my four verticals for my company is art. So we speak with galleries and museums as far as how to integrate blockchain tech into what they're doing, consulting with artists and whatnot. So I myself, I've launched NFTs on Ethereum, on Solana, and on Stacks. But I'm very bullish on Stacks and their ecosystem. So I'm going to be migrating all of my NFTs for future on Stacks. But yeah, I'm on OpenSea, I'm on SoulSea, and I'm on a Stacks NFT platform as well.
Nice, man. Look, I know a lot of my people, they want to get into the NFT business, like a huge trend going on right now. You're seeing Eminem buying monkeys and apes and Snoop Dogg. I know my people, they're all into it. Personally, I think I have like two NFTs, I believe. One of them was it was an artist named Israel Wilson. He created one 60 Nipseys. So I support him on that. And I know I have a couple NBA Top Shots, but I don't know if those are like NFTs, but I don't know.
Mhm.
I have a couple. I
Mhm.
know I've created one. Smart Guy Clothing, that's my clothing line. And what I said was that the original people who bought into my clothing line, they received like a physical NFT. And what I plan on doing later this year is converting that to a digital NFT. And then anybody who owns it will be able to have a 20% discount on any of my products or services as long as they hold it. Um, and what I feel like that's going to do is, I've been on tour with Hill, I've been on tour with Najah. As this becomes normal, I might say, hey, my public speaking, event's going to be $10,000. And what that NFT is going to do is it's going to create an intrinsic value of,
Mhm.
oh, now it's worth $2,000 because if you want to hire me, but you're trying to save some money, you're going to buy that NFT from somebody, $1,000, it still saves you 1,000.
Mhm.
And I create a residual income off of it. And I think that is a great way to create another line of income. And then it's
Mhm.
scarce. I originally created 100 of them, but 100 people didn't buy my clothes at first. So I burned the remaining of it. And so whatever is out there is out there. I don't even know how many is out there, to be honest with you. But I know that it's less than 100. And so I'll probably be coming to you when I decide to turn it from physical to
Mhm.
digital, because I have no idea how to do that yet, or how the operations go. But this summer I plan on working on that. So maybe when we're on tour, we can link up for the next part of this journey.
Yeah, let's tap in about that. I definitely consult with artists and brands and whatnot. I think, and it's dope that you're thinking about it from the long term aspect of it, because it's not a bubble, but unless people do their research and know what to look for within NFT projects, they may be stuck holding a bag during the next bear market, which for us, it's Bitcoin on sale. So we don't necessarily mind a bear market.
Yeah.
But for those who have, poured and they're trying to trying to beat the market with trading, it's super hard, man. It's easier to just dollar cost average into assets. But if we're talking solely NFTs and trading and all of that, a good majority of them will not hold value during a bear market. The only ones that will, generally speaking, because this is not financial advice, generally speaking, are the ones that have intrinsic value within an ecosystem. Those are the ones that are going to have staying power. There's this one actually that I was tuned into. It's called Blockchain Miners Club. So if you super cool, you should check it out actually.
Let me do that now.
Yeah, it's fire. So you have these miners that look like Bitcoin miners with different characteristics and whatnot. There's a limited supply, and for people who hold two and combine them, you're going to be able to earn what's called the hash token. This hash token can be used on exchange or whatnot, so you can get liquidity if you want, or you can hold and accumulate and give it back to the DAO that's forming around this NFT and say, hey, I want my hash tokens converted into hash power.
Mm,
So me holding this NFT, I'm mining Bitcoin.
wow.
First time it's ever happened. So things like that, that's going to have staying value in the midst of a bear market. And then once we go back into the next bull cycle, off
Yeah.
to the races.
It's similar to like the city tokens that you're talking about, because I know in Miami,
Yep, city coins. Yep.
yeah, city coins, where if you if you buy the Miami token or the Miami coin, they'll
Mm-hmm.
give you Bitcoin dividends on it. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
way to basic as a financial person, I look at it as an upgrade from municipal bonds. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
municipal bonds. So first, wealthy people, to preserve their wealth, they used to, put into gold. Gold has been, going down for some time. So what they'll do is then they say, okay, well, I'm gonna buy bonds. Bonds give money to the local government or to the federal government. If it's local, it's considered municipal. But then, as you were talking about, the interest rates are so low that if
Mm-hmm.
if interest rate on the bond is 4%, but inflation's at 6.8, you're still losing. Um,
Definitely.
and so wealthy people, they moved it from bonds to equities, which is stocks,
Mm-hmm.
which is the reason why these big corporations have had so much power in government, because wealthy people have been pouring their money into these corporations, and the
Mm-hmm.
corporations then create the laws. But with Bitcoin or with city tokens or city coins, a lot of the money from stocks is going to get moved away from that, which will take a lot of power away from these huge corporations, what I think is a great thing. Um, and then if the cities are getting it, if you're in those cities and it's a tourist spot, you guys are going to benefit from the tourists versus being hit with, man, my property taxes went up, I can't afford it, or my rent's gone up, because it's an influx of money, which is a local inflation. Now you benefit from it because you're getting Bitcoin dividends from everybody else buying the Miami coin. So I think this is like mind blowing in how it's going to affect things going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are living in one of those big cities and you guys, have like a city token or a city coin, man, I highly suggest, investing in that, because you might as well benefit from tourists versus getting hit with, like I said, higher property tax and having to move away from the city. Now you can actually be like, no, this is my city and I live here and y'all ain't gonna push me away. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get rich off of this. So
And it's crazy because folks can mine Miami coin, they can mine New York coin. And when they launched the Austin one, because that's the third one, Austin, Texas, Austin coin. But yeah, I think and those again are built on the Stacks blockchain. So we're talking about something that is truly scalable, that is natively Bitcoin centric, and it's a 2-for-1. You know what I mean? If I hold in my own wallet 50 stack tokens and I stake them, they call it stacking. So you're stacking your stacks, but it's staking basically. If I stake them for a period of time, I can do it for a few weeks or I can do it indefinitely in my wallet that I'm custodying, because if it's not your keys, it's not your cheese. Shout out to Bitcoin J.
there you go.
I can do that in my own believe that. Yep, I peeped that. I peeped that. I can do that in my own wallet indefinitely, earning Bitcoin yield. You can't beat that.
No.
You just can't. And I can write smart contracts with it, and I can do DeFi with it. I can do NFT. I can do everything that they're talking about with Ethereum, but it's Bitcoin focused at a fraction of the gas fees or transaction fees. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? And I think this year is going to be a year where folks really see like the power of stacks. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what's coming. I'm excited for the options that we have as a people, as a nation. I think that we're gonna continue to see a downturn beyond like the Great Recession, and it's gonna hurt some people in a real way. So for folks who aren't stocking up on water, who aren't learning how to garden, who aren't freezing foods in case of whatever, like it's really gonna hit people that didn't see it coming, but they were balling off of PPP loans and unemployment and all of that stuff. Like it's gonna hit people hard. So I really think the value buy-in for cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, is gonna be huge during this time. Truly.
Yeah, I agree. We talked about that on tour. People, man, people have these spider, I don't know what they're called, the little spider cars, and
yeah, that's flexing.
they was getting thousands and hundreds of $1,000s from PPP, and now they're hitting me up on the back of, hey, bro, I need you to fix my taxes. I said I made $250,000 and I have no employees. Man, the IRS sent me a document, man, help me out. I'm like, well, it's gonna cost me, my fee is $10,000. And they're like, oh no, I spent it all. I'm like, so you don't have any money to hire me. You don't have any money to pay the IRS. I mean,
that's
what you do? Like they gave his money out and you just weren't responsible. So I mean,
that's Fed money too. So you're talking Fed time. If it's any jail stipulations plus getting hit with certain fees, like if you were able to do certain things and you got documentation, there's gonna be, I'm sure, some grace for you because you did it the right way.
sure.
Even if not every I was dotted and every T was crossed. But for those who was just flexing, you know what I mean? Like, man, I feel bad. I definitely feel bad.
Yeah. I feel bad, but then again, I'm like, you knew what you were doing. So, you make your bed, you're gonna lay in it. So
that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So okay, so where can everybody find you at? What's the best way for them to reach you at?
Yeah, so PerceptForm.tech, that is the hub, that is the mothership for everything that I am doing, myself and my company. Some really exciting things happening within the 4 verticals of finance, education, art, and real estate. I'm actually doing an annual cohort where we're going to do deep dives into some of the things that we were talking about, from DAOs to DeFi to NFTs to whatever. So like we're going to get into that all year. And that's launching on January 31st. So really excited to build that out and launch that. In reference to the Black Wall Street, tap into the blackwallstreet.com, download the app, dollar cost average in a Bitcoin, send and receive, and expect some really cool things to pop up that I really want to say, but I can't. Just stay tuned, stay close. Follow Hill on on Instagram and on social media in general. Follow Najah Roberts. You'll see some things begin to trickle down around the summertime. And lastly, myself, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, CMPGFB. And that's that, man. I appreciate your time. And when we eye to eye, man, we definitely gonna rap.
Most definitely, man. Appreciate you for coming on. CJ the Smart Guy, Christopher Perceptions, and we're out. See, I got it right that time.
That's right.